welcome back to my channel. It feels so good to sit here and say those words because it has been such a long time since I sat down and set aside time to create a YouTube video. And if you guys have been following me on social media, on my Instagram page, you guys know I've been so busy and so active over there. And I haven't been able to manage home life, business life, and social media too well. But I really want to make YouTube a priority. And so I'm really excited to finally be able to bring you guys a brand new tutorial. So if you guys, like I said, if you guys have been following me on Instagram, you may have already seen when I posted this cup. And so many of you all had asked me to show you guys the process and show you all how I created this cup. And I'm really excited to have this beautiful tumbler be my very first tutorial back in quite a while. It's a pretty straightforward tumbler to create. There's not a lot that goes into it, but the end result, as you can see, let me move out of the way, is just absolutely stunning. And I think this is a great way to kind of get back making tutorials again on my YouTube channel. I just really hope that you guys are excited to start seeing more of my videos. I know I am. I've been missing so much sitting down and creating. So I'm really excited to be back. And if you're new here and you haven't been to my channel, thank you guys so much for being here, for watching. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. And if you could kindly subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos, that would be absolutely awesome. So if you guys are here because you want to see this tutorial, let's just go ahead and dive on in. So today we're working with the 32-ounce Plump from the steel Magnolia. And of course, as always, we're going to go ahead and start by prepping the base. Now I'm using a 100 grit sanding block, and I'm going to just go ahead and scuff up the entire base. Once that's done, we're going to rinse it down or wash it off or clean it off using 100% acetone. Look at all that debris that is on that tumbler, so you want to make sure you clean that off. Once that's done, nice and dry, we can take it outside. We're going to prep it by spray painting using our Color Shot white spray paint. I'm going to go ahead and put a few good coats on top of this so we have a nice solid white base. And you want to make sure you're shaking up your cans, you're putting nice even coats, and then we're going to just spray it evenly all around, take it inside, let it dry, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So to let my tumbler dry, I usually set it up in front of my exhaust fan. And I absolutely love this fan because it pulls out all of the air and all of that smell out of the room so that it is not intoxicating you and just spewing chemicals all over your house. So if you're interested in where I got that fan, I will have a link in the description down below because I got it on Amazon and it has been absolutely amazing. All right, so the next step is you're going to want to mix up some of your favorite resin. And my favorite resin is Facet by Counterculture DIY. So I'm taking 5 ml of part A, 5 ml of part B, and we're going to mix that together to use as our application base so that we can apply our glitter on top of. And as you can see, we're working with the chunky glitter today. We're working with Magnolia and she is gorgeous. So we're going to be applying a pretty good amount of this resin on top of the tumbler. Now, if you're working with fine glitter, you want to use a very, very small amount of resin because it will just soak up your glitter and not look right. But because we're working with chunky glitter and we want this to lay flat, I'm going to put a pretty good amount of that resin on there. And once I have it nice and even, you can see I'm just sprinkling that chunky glitter all over the base. Now, just like any other chunky glitter, a lot of it kind of sticks up and gets all over the place, and it's really hard to cover, right? Well, once I'm done sprinkling my chunky glitter on top of my tumbler, I'm going to show you guys a little trick on how to flatten your glitter, and this has been a game changer for me. This allows all of those chunky pieces that's standing up to lay nice and flat. So after I spread my glitter all over, this is like immediately right after, I just take my slick sheets and I roll up my tumbler inside. I press evenly up and down, and now you can see just how flat that glitter is laying. Okay, so now we're on to the next step where we're going to apply the alcohol ink. This is where the magic happens, but you do want to wait until your resin is cured all the way before moving on to this step. So for us, since I'm using Facet, about 3 hours later, you can go in with this step. So I'm going to be going in with the Brea Reese alcohol inks, and I'm using all of their neons. So I'm using neon pink. And what I love about the alcohol inks is that once you lay it down, it kind of moves and grooves and does its own little thing. And I really love this technique. It's been one of my favorites. So I'm taking that neon pink, and as you can see, I'm just laying it down in a geode pattern. And as I lay down these dots of inks, it spreads out and it just creates such a beautiful effect over that glitter. And geodes can look all kinds of different ways. So if you're unsure about how you want your geode to look, you can pull up some images on Google and kind of base your design off of that. But I'm kind of doing a standard like triangular design, starting with the pink, moving on to the yellow, the orange, and I'm just going in that rainbow pattern, right? So pink, orange, yellow, green, blue. Now, as you can see, after the yellow, I went straight in with the blue because when those two colors mix, they create a green. And when I move on to the next part of my geode, you're going to see that I kind of actually leave out going straight in with that orange, because instead of wasting product, you can mix those colors together, those primary colors together, and create the secondary colors. So I'm going to just go in really quickly with that purple. And again, these are all the neon colors from the Brea Reese collection. So neon pink, neon orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And they're beautiful. You can find this collection either on Counterculture DIY, you can find Brea Reese in Michael's, and you can also find them in Hobby Lobby. So I'll have a few links in the description down below so you guys can check it out, along with the discount code if you decide to purchase them through Counterculture DIY. So as you can see here, I went in with the pink, then I went in with the yellow, and just look at how beautifully that orange is coming out. And then again with the blue, just how beautifully it pulls out that green color. And I really love doing this technique because they just melt together. The colors literally just blend in together so nicely. And that's pretty much it, you guys. That's how you create our neon geode with alcohol inks. So once you've laid down your inks, you do want to go ahead and let them dry and cure overnight. I like to give it about 24 hours. And once they're done and nice and dry, I'm going to just go in and seal it in using this clear gloss spray sealant. So here you can see I'm just putting a few good coats on there, making sure it is covering everything. And then you want to go ahead and let that dry for a couple hours as well. So once everything is nice and cured, you have your base of alcohol inks cured, you have that sealant nice and cured and ready to go. Now it's time to seal everything in with your resin. So again, you're going to take your favorite resin, you're going to mix it up, and then you're going to go ahead and just spread that all around. So to be able to cover a 32-ounce plump, you're going to need a good 30 ounces of resin. First of all, you're using chunky glitter, and then you have a pretty big tumbler. So at least 30 mLs of resin is what you're going to need for that first coat. And then you're going to also go in with a second coat. So while that initial 30 mLs is good for the first coat, it's not going to give you a smooth base to be able to move on to the next step, which is applying your decals. So you are going to have to do 2 layers of this resin. So you'll need 30 mLs the first round, and then you'll need about another 15 to 20 mLs the second round to really get a smooth enough surface to be able to apply your decals. And whew, I've been talking a whole lot. So here you can watch me just apply that resin. I'll let you guys watch a little bit of the process. So enjoy the process of me applying that resin. Again, don't forget, you are going to have to put 2 good layers of this resin. And yeah, then we'll move on to the next step, which is applying our decal. Okay, so this is what the tumbler looks like after 1 coat of resin. So like I said earlier, you are going to have to go in with 2 coats. Now, before I apply the second coat, I want to get rid of all that jaggedness around the rim. So I'm going to take an X-Acto knife or a razor, and I'm going to just take that and start trimming off all those sharp, jagged edge pieces of glitter around the rim. Now, at this point, you don't want to sand the body of your tumbler, right? Because we're going to be going in with the second coat, because we do still have certain areas of the tumbler that may have exposed glitter. And if you sand those areas, you're gonna scuff the glitter up and mess it all up, and we don't want that. So right now I'm just focusing on the top rim so that our rim is nice and clean when we go in with our second layer of resin. So as you can see, I've sanded it down and I'm cleaning it off using 99% alcohol. And I'm going to just go ahead and wipe off the body of my tumbler to remove any debris, oil, or anything like that that may have gotten on that from my hands. And once that's nice and clean, I went ahead and whipped up 20 mLs of resin. And again, this is for the second layer. And I'm going to put that all over the cup. And this is really going to smooth down our base so that we can get ready for the next step again, which is applying our decal. So I went ahead and applied that. I'm going to torch it. And this is what the cup looks like after it's cured on its second layer of resin. So this is when you're going to go in and you're going to start sanding down any areas that may have any bumpiness. Now there shouldn't be an extreme amount of bumpiness. If you feel like you have an extreme amount of bumpiness and glitter, then you should go in with another coat of resin. But at this point, it shouldn't be very bumpy. There might be a few areas at the bottom that need to be sanded down, but you can go ahead and do that. As you can see, I'm sort of using my finger to kind of see where I need to sand. And then after I've tackled those, areas where have a little bit of pokiness, I'll just take my sanding block, which again is 100 grit, and I'll just lightly start sanding down the base. Now this is just gonna give my base, more of a grip so that when I put my vinyl on top, it sticks on really nicely. So just a nice light little sand, and then we'll go ahead and wash it down or spritz it off with alcohol and apply our decal. Now I'm using this Tech Wrap vinyl from Tech Wrap. I'm using this rainbow vinyl from Tech Wrap and I love it. It is so pretty and I think it matches this design on my tumbler so well. So I went ahead and just typed out this phrase. It says, "You be your own kind of beautiful." I typed it out in Cricut Design Space and I cut it using this vinyl. I'll have a link in the description down below. I do have an affiliate code with them, so you can go ahead and check it out. And once I've cut it out, I'm just gonna put my transfer tape on there and just apply it onto the tumbler. I really love this cup. This is the second cup that I'm making in this design. This is actually an order for a customer and I'm just so happy to be creating again, you guys, not only for YouTube, but actually making physical items for customers. It's been a long time since I've opened up orders, making tumblers for customers. So if you guys are interested, if you want to purchase this cup, you can also find it on my website. I'm really excited about it. And you can customize your own tumbler with me. We can add a name, a phrase, and all that stuff. And then you may even be able to see me make it live or see it posted on my social media. But so here's what the cup looks like. I went ahead and weeded out the outside of the words, but with smaller font, I like to apply it onto the cup first and then kind of remove, the little inside pieces, weed out the inside pieces. I think it helps a lot when you already have like the phrase or, smaller font on your surface, and then you can just go ahead and pluck those little pieces out. But once we are, done pulling all that up, we're gonna just let that vinyl sit on the cup for a few minutes, let it really get on there. You can also go ahead and spray seal this in. I opted out from spray sealing it in this time because I did my prep on my base and scuffed it up and it was ready to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and peel up these little pieces and then we'll jump in to sealing it all in with our final coats of resin. So for this final coat, I really only needed one coat to finish up this baby. I went in with 30 mLs of resin, and I'm going to go ahead and again whip up my part A and part B, and we'll just spread it all around the tumbler. I use a torch to pop all of those bubbles, and we're going to let that set up and cure, and then we're done. So this is the final look of the tumbler in natural lighting. As you can see, the alcohol inks, the vinyl, everything is just absolutely beautiful and blends so well together. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys love it too. Thank you guys for watching. All right, babes, that is it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions or any comments at all, you can leave them in the comment section down below. But before you go, definitely check out the description so that you can see everything that was used to create this beauty. And there may even be some discount codes in there for you guys as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Well, until next time, I'll see you.